Hi, my name is Sonya Ovrutsky Fensome. I'm a concert pianist and educator, and this is from my piano room. In my today's video, I'm going to share the piece of music that I've been playing for a very long time. It's a series of short pieces called Sarcasms by Prokofiev. So Prokofiev Sarcasms Opus 17. This piece is about 10 minutes long. So in the first half of this video, I'll share with you my thoughts and my vision. And in the second half, I'll play it for you. I love Prokofiev. He's one of my favorite composers. And many of my listeners love Prokofiev, but not that many people know this piece. In fact, when I do play this piece in the recital, I'm asking the audience to raise their hands if they heard the piece before, right? So when I'm asking that, there's usually like one hand, and that's my husband. No one's ever heard the piece. There is something very fairy tale in a way about Prokofiev music. It's like immersing in Tim Burton's movies. It's so magically, unworldly, beautiful. And if you do love Prokofiev music for that, I'm going to warn you, this is not one of these beautiful Prokofiev pieces. This is the ugliest piece that Prokofiev has ever written. I first learned it when I was way too young to truly appreciate it. I learned it because my teacher asked me to. I was 14 and the piece didn't make any sense to me, right? I was raised up to that point on classical and romantic Chopins and Mozarts, and now the notes, just how they relate to each other, barely made any sense. I persevered through that. I learned the piece. I played it for my teacher, and revelation came when he asked me to play Sarcasm number 4 for him again. So I played it, and it went somewhat like this. And teacher stopped me. I'll never forget his reaction. He stopped me and thought for a moment and said, "Sonya, have you ever threw rocks into something?" And I said, what do you mean? You're like, well, like just take a rock and throw it into something to just, break it apart, like completely like break something, like take a vase and throw it on the floor. And have you ever done something like that? And I said, no, of course not. And he said, here in classical music, we can. Here, I want to hear you breaking some glass. I want to hear you throwing rocks. And suddenly, the nonsense of this harmonies made sense to me, right? It just all clicked. And it became completely different music. This piece of music is asking for extreme means of expression. It shows you the ugliest, the quirkiest. It shows you the weird. You will miss out on the expression of this piece if you try to play it within the boundaries of the so-called beautiful piano sound. Also, he plays a lot with the tonality. He pushes the rules of how he uses the tonality to the very extreme point, to the very border, to the very edge, but without ever really breaking the rules. One of the examples is in Sarcasm number 3. You got this piece that's written in 2 different tonalities. Right hand, F sharp minor. Left hand, B flat minor. And hands never agreeing with each other. And they argue to the very, very last moment, to the very last breath. Is one of the furthest extremes of stretching the norm of the tonality while still staying within its boundaries. And through all this journey through different tonalities and different keys, however, Prokofiev still finishes this piece in C major, which is not just any major, but the purest one of all the majors. No sharps, no flats. It's like Prokofiev telling us in the end of us all that I'm just being sarcastic, I'm just kidding you guys. Tonality. We're going to abide by it. Hope you enjoyed this piece. Hope you love it as much as I do.